Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Molly. I have a friend coming over today. I am donating for a silent auction a couple of honey bun cakes for one of their causes, and so I just invited her over for lunch. So I got up this morning because I wanted to get what I need on in the crock pot and thought that while I was here, I would kind of share this with you. Sometime back, I had put on my Facebook about an easy recipe for sloppy joes. And if you like Manwich, uh, if you like anything like that, you're never going to want to eat that again when you eat this. I call this Mollywich. That's what I call this, Mollywich or Momwich. Instead of Manwich, we're going to call it Momwich. And what you're going to need for this is you're going to need about 3 pounds of ground beef, about a cup of chopped onions, a cup of chopped celery, about a half a cup of green pepper. And remember, you don't have to be particular with that, but just around that amount. I'm going to use a 12-ounce bottle of chili sauce, a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and then, of course, get your favorite buns to serve it on. Now, this is also a crock potter. You can eat it directly when you're first getting it ready. It's not as good. Please give it the time in the crock pot. That is something that always makes it better. A crock pot with the flavors, anything's better when it simmers. And it's kind of like sometimes your leftovers are better the next day on a lot of my recipes. So I'm gonna put this down here a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I know here today, and this is, of course, we're still at the end of February. We had a whole bunch of coldness, but now we are in the midst of 70-degree weather is what we had yesterday. You can see here I'm just chopping up my celery. Look, you can do this anyway. It is supposed to be chopped. I know a lot of people use the processors and stuff, but I find that it just doesn't quite taste the same when I do this. But remember, there's no right or wrong with cooking. I think what you do is you find what works for you, what's comfortable for you. But don't forget here and there to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. I preach that all the time in my business, to my team, to people who follow me, that a really great thing is to get out of your comfort zone. And if you've never figured out how to chop something, you know what? Start practicing, whether it's an onion or green peppers, no matter what that is. We're almost done here. Let me get these little pieces here cut up. But yeah, it has been really nice. Lee was able to open the windows in our sliding door yesterday, and after being closed in and bundled up, I'm not used to that down here in North Carolina. I moved down here a little over a year ago, probably closer to 2 years now, and I was leaving all that cold Maryland weather, right? I'm like, Lord. And then we finally got hit with it down here, and I was like, oh no. But not nearly as bad as what my family in Maryland is getting. Okay, so let me scoop this up. Like I said, I needed about a cup here of celery. And this was probably, how many stalks did I do here? I did about 4 stalks of celery. Um, I'm also going to be putting up an apple cobbler, a very quick apple cobbler that I'm going to put up for you guys, and also my mom's potato salad recipe, so you can look forward to that in the coming videos. Okay, so here I've got that, and now, of course, with the onion, I'm going to need, what am I doing here? Going to need about a cup of chopped onions, and you see here I've taken a half an onion, this is the other half, and I've just sliced it long ways, like this, in thin slices. And then what I do is, and I just hold it together as tight as I can. Again, there's no perfection here. It's just getting them chopped. As you'll see. Okay, so here we go. Chop this up. people are always saying, Molly, when you're cooking, you never cry. And seldom do I, does the onion juice get to me. There's a couple of things I've always done that my mom told me. First of all, you always rinse your onion after it's peeled and everything. Always rinse it in cold water, always. And then from there, what I do is make sure that I breathe through my mouth and not through my nose. I don't know why there's a difference there, but I swear to you there is. Don't breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth. Okay, and I'm just, measuring this for you so that you see. Now, this was a really big onion, but if you have just a regular size onion, that will work. Kind of take the core out there. You try not to put that. It would cook fine if you don't take the core out of the onion. It's okay, but I just like to do that. Okay, so here we go. A little teeny over an onion, but again, this has been really hard for me doing recipes for you all. The struggle was real, and it was a big fear of mine that when I came up with a lot of these recipes, I'm somebody who cooks to taste. You'll hear me say that a lot. So for the last few years, I have been writing down recipes, carrying a pad of paper with me all the time. And let me get a bowl out here for the green peppers. And so that when I was sharing, I could actually share with you what I was doing instead of saying, well, I don't know how much salt and pepper. I don't know how much chili sauce. I don't know what I put in for that. So, yay me for finally doing that. This is, of course, a green pepper. Could you use other color peppers? Sure, you could. I do find with cooking, though, unless you're looking for a sweeter pepper, which your red, your yellows, all of those are in orange are going to be sweeter peppers. But when it comes to cooking and flavor, what you're going to find is when you're cooking it with hamburger, with onions, whatever it is, boy, there's nothing like a green pepper. Can I just say? They are just a fabulous, fabulous flavor. I can just sit and eat green peppers by themselves or with a little cream cheese on them, with some everything bagel seasoning on it. You'll see me post that a lot on my social media because when I just need something little, man, that's all I want. That's all I want. Now, I took this whole pepper, and this was a good sized pepper. I knew it was going to be too much, but it was the best looking pepper in the bunch. And I still cut it up, cleaned it up, all of that, because, I will take the rest of this, put it in a baggie, and, take out some cream cheese later maybe, and, or it can sit in your refrigerator for up to a week. Even like this, you can use it for another recipe. Cut it up in a salad. Whatever that looks like for you, but I'm always about trying to find the best vegetables and stuff in the produce. So let's look here. I think this is going to look like, let me see what this looks like in this bowl. Yes, I could measure it. I know what it looks like, and I don't feel like getting out another measuring dish because I got to keep going here if I'm going to, this dish is going to make it by the time my person gets here. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about a half a cup right there. And that's what I wanted was a half a cup of this. Okay, I'm going to be back. We're going to start the skillet. We're going to start putting all this together. So stay tuned. Let me get ready for that. Okay, you guys, welcome back. We're here at the stove now. Happy coffee, and I hope everybody's got their coffee. I am heating the pan up. Again, this is kind of like what I would call Momwich or really easy sloppy joes that you do in the crock pot, but of course you have to prepare for it first. So this is my 3 pounds of, lean beef. Okay, and it is better to get lean beef. This one was let me find this here. This was 85.15 is what this was. And you need about 3 pounds of this. About 3 pounds, okay? So, something I do with all my beef, no matter what I'm doing. I always use a little bit of garlic salt. Love me my Lowry's garlic salt. I think it's the best ever. It's got a little parsley in it. So I'm going to put a little of that in there. Going to take a little pepper. Okay, we're going to put that in there. And this, you can start to hear it definitely come together here. Listen to that sizzle. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. My hamburger breaker upper, you all will find. I know it's called something else. Don't judge me, okay? This is what I call my hamburger breaker upper. Love this. I got it from Pampered Chef. If you need a good Pampered Chef lady, Janice Tippett is mine. Been dealing with her for years. Know a lot of people who sell it. She has been my Pampered Chef lady for years. And I love this because, as you will see, if you don't have one, see how it's squared up and it breaks everything off. And I don't know what I ever did without this. I have been using one. This is my second one in about 15 years. So talk about how long it lasts, for sure. So while this is starting to brown here, you'll see I have my crock pot here. I am a real lover of crock pot or slow cooker liners. Reynolds puts these out. I've used a couple of different brands, but I really like them. Definitely fits the bigger crock pots. I'm going to take this just like a trash can liner, and you're going to fit it right over there. Talk about great cleanup. And it also protects my crock pot, so I love that. Love this. So I put that in. I always make sure that it's pressed down to the shape of the crock pot, okay? Because you don't want part of it not being in the pan for that even cooking. So here we go. I love this crock pot. I actually earned this with Avon through when we had the points program where we could order what we wanted with our points. And this is, now we have perks and things like that we can do. But this has just been the best. I love it. I don't have it plugged in right now because we're not ready to do all that. But okay, so here we go. Let's do what we got to with this. Get this done. And if you're looking for somebody who is not a clean cook, who is a very exceptional on-point cook, you watching the wrong girl, people. You know that. We've talked about this. I am the messier, the delivery, the cooking skills. I'm telling you, the better it tastes. That's how I feel. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit for a minute and let that start browning. I should have taken the hamburger out a little bit longer. I will tell you, if you take any meat that you're getting ready to use, whether it's chicken or hamburger or steak, whatever it is, and if you let it sit out for about 30 or 40 minutes, if even up to an hour or so, bring it up to that room temperature, things will cook faster. You won't have so much to heat up. Because I got up this morning to do this and procrastinated, didn't want to get out of bed because I work for myself. Why would I get up out of bed, right? So let me get my measuring spoons out here so I can show you guys exactly how much I'm putting in of this stuff. Again, this is going to have onion, celery, green pepper. I'm going to put some chili sauce in it. And you can use whatever brands you want to. People are always saying, though, I want to use your brand. So that's why I try to show you, because I do believe there's a difference with a lot of stuff. Some stuff there's not a difference. But I think there is, and I love Heinz chili sauce. I use Hunt's tomato paste. I love Hunt's. I know there's some great other companies that are out there. This was my mom's go-to, and it's continued to be my go-to. We're going to use that. We're going to do some Worcestershire sauce. I've already put in the salt and pepper, and we're going to put in some brown sugar in here too, which is great. Now the weight on this, I told you 3 pounds. It's going to be probably, this is about 3.15, I believe is what the package says. It's okay, a little more, a little less. A little more is just going to give you a little more, which is great. Don't go crazy now, because if you start getting like 4 pounds of burger or 5 pounds of burger, then you're going to need to up your ingredients, of course, or there's not going to be enough to make the balance of what this is supposed to taste like. So you can see this is browning quite well. The reason they say too to use the leaner ground beef is because this is going to have some oil, and we're going to drain this, but it's not going to have as much as it would if you were doing like an 80-20, something like that. Trying to figure out where I put my new strainers. Isn't that horrible? I can't. Do you ever forget where you put everything? This is my life. Can I just say, this is my life. I just recently got these. I used to use like regular colanders, and I finally found really nice strainers so that like I can strain the grease out of stuff. I don't know where I was, 57 years old, and I finally just got a set of these, all different sizes, so that I wouldn't lose everything, but I could drain grease and stuff sufficiently. So I love that. If you need the link to that, you let me know, and I can put the link up for that. Just ask me, or send me a private message. All my links, of course, are put into the comments of this first. That shows how you can get a hold of me, how you can follow me on both my Instagram accounts. One is Cook with Molly, which is cook_with_Molly, and then there's Onward with Molly, the same way, which is more about life, business, funny, inspirational products that I like to share with people. Then there's, of course, Facebook, and I just started on the TikTok. That ought to be interesting, right? Molly on TikTok, Lord have mercy. I said I wasn't going to do that, and an opportunity has come my way in recent days that is going to require me to do some TikToking. So I guess God had other plans for me and decided it was time for me to venture out on another new adventure and join the TikTok world. Now, I've always watched it. I've just never participated. Wow, to see how this browns up really, really nice. Okay. Okay, so now that this is just turning brown, okay, with what we're doing here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the onions, okay? We're going to get all my onions in here. And my celery, of course, put that in here. And, of course, the green pepper. And at this point, I think my the ground beef is pretty broke up the way I want it, so I'm going to switch. Look at me. I am such a slob. It's the other thing, too. Once it's cooked, you see how it kind of falls off of here? There's not much meat, which is good. So now I'm going to grab me one of my spoons here so that I can get this in here and get this. Nothing like onions and green peppers. Oh my goodness, all of that cooking. This is great. Wow. Look at that. Some good stuff right here. Good stuff. So again, we're going to let this settle in here. And you're not looking for all your onions and all to be completely cooked through, because remember, we're going to take this and we're going to put this in the crock pot, okay? And that's going to take care of a lot of the cooking. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for just a couple of minutes and let those onions and all just get a little bit transparent. And then I'll be back after I drain the hamburger to show you what we need to do next. See you soon. Okay guys, so I've got all my hamburger, the onions, celery, and green pepper all drained and have it transferred over here to my crock pot, as you can see. Let me move this out of the way. Can't bring that over there because that's too hot. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to combine all the rest of the ingredients. Like I told you that, oh, little did I know, I'm going to take this whole container, which is 12 ounces of chili sauce, okay? I'm going to take this whole thing and we're going to dump this in here. Okay? Great when you don't have to measure and you can just pour it in. So this is what we're doing here. I'm going to give you a better view of this in just a minute too. Okay, and now I'm going to take the 6 ounces of tomato paste and I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to take the whole thing. Okay, we're going to get that in there. Throw these away. All right, and then we're going to take about 3 tablespoons. Okay, so I'm going to take about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, I know they were heaping. I'm that girl, just so you know. Let me set this here. So we're going to take that and we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Everything's better with a little bit of Worcestershire, right? Okay, so we're going to put that in there. All right. I'm going to take just a little bit more pepper, just regular ground pepper, okay? Put that in there. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of regular salt, okay? Probably, if I were to say, probably like a half a teaspoon. Now, if you don't season your meat with garlic salt like I do, you can use a full teaspoon. I just like to season the meat. So now what we're going to do, let me see if I can get all this off here. Don't want to leave any of the goodness on here. All right. So now I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to combine it. I'm going to combine it really well. That tomato paste, remember, that's kind of thick. So you want to make sure that you are getting all of this combined together. Oh, this is going to be so good. Just the smell of it all, I'll tell you. I think one of my greatest joys of cooking is the smells that you just kind of create with stuff. You know, there's nothing like walking into a house knowing that something's been in a crock pot for Lord knows how long, and oh, man. And because the meat's been hot, I can tell you, I can already see the peppers starting to turn colors. So this is going to be really good. You know, this was not my mom's recipe. This is a recipe I found some time ago, and I ended up adding the brown sugar and the Worcestershire to it. But I got to tell you. Now let me show you. I want you to come over here because I want you to see the consistency. So I'm going to try hard not to drop you here. Okay? Hold on. So, when you're looking at this, see this? This consistency. Let me get this where you can see it. Here is the consistency. Remember, like Momwich, see? See that? Wow. Okay? So you're going to take this. You're going to take this now, and you are going to plug this up, and we are going to put this on low for 3 to 5 hours. Now, the reason I say 3 to 5 is because it's all according to how strong your crock pot is. For me, it's about 3.5 hours, 3.5 to 4, and this stuff was done. How will you know? Well, remember, the hamburger and all is already done. But the one thing you want to make sure of is like your green peppers, you know, they change from one color to another. You want it to be heated thoroughly all the way through. No less than 3 hours, but anywhere between 3 and 5 according to your crock pot. Take that, put it on some of your favorite buns, and so good. So let me know if you try this. I want to hear from you. Post it. There's Lee. See Lee walking in here? Here he comes. Okay, so here we go. We are 3.5 hours in, and this is ready. This is ready to go. Ooh, look at that steam. Ready to go on a bun. See how thick it is? Look at that. Holds right up on the spoon. See the colors in the peppers and the onions have changed. It is bubbling. Enjoy, everybody. Let me know what you think of it. Thanks for joining me with Cooking with Molly.